Hi, I'm Fawn. I'm your host and the creator of it'simplybecaus.com. And today I'm back with another installment of my micro Canva tutorial series. By micro tutorial, I mean bite-sized topics and bite-sized time frames. My goal is to keep all the tutorials in this series between a 10 and 15-minute time frame when possible, but please understand that some topics will be complex and require more time. Small disclosure, this series is not for you if you consider yourself at an intermediate to expert level in Canva. This series is for you if you're at a beginner level in Canva looking for an easy way to learn how to get started. Today in tutorial 3 of the Canva How-To micro tutorial series, I'm going to continue to talk about all things font. This tutorial will be short and concise as I intend to only show you where certain features are located and not necessarily how to use them. Then in upcoming tutorials, I will break down the font features into quick standalone micro tutorials. I will first run through where the features are located in Canva Pro, then switch over to my Canva Free account and show you what features are available there and where they're located. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to start with the text tab. It's a little bit bigger. The text tab is going to be your best friend, along with some of these other tabs that are available here on the left-hand side. So if we click on the text tab here, let me see if I can. My recording here is getting in the way of me clicking on the text tab, so let me shrink this a second. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So if you click on the text tab, you can then get to the brand kit, which is right here. If you haven't set it up in Canva Pro, then I suggest you do that once you figure out what fonts you want to use for your brand. You can set up more than one brand kit in there. So if you have like one for your Etsy shop, or one for printable designs, and one for digital planners, or one for your blog and one for your Etsy, you can set up multiple um, brand kits in here, and it's really nice and it's very handy. The other thing that you can do through your brand kit is if you wanted to go in and let's edit and upload a font. So what I would do is go here and you can upload a font here. The other way to upload a font, which is the way that I prefer to upload fonts because I don't typically change my default fonts in my brand kit very often. I upload fonts by just clicking on a piece of text that I have in my design, and I go straight to the text box at the top, and I upload fonts from the bottom of the font list here. So I would click on it here, follow the prompts, and I would upload font there. And just a quick point here, fonts being able to be uploaded to Canva is only available in the Canva Pro account or Canva Teams. The paid accounts are the only ones where you can do that. You cannot do that in the Canva Free account. Now, if you just straight upload your font and you don't do it into a brand kit, you can find all of your uploaded fonts in the font list under uploaded fonts. All of these fonts here are fonts that I have uploaded myself. Okay, and these are definitely not all assigned to brand kits. There's only a few of them that I'd actually use in one of the brand kits. So that is how you upload a font, or where you can get to the feature to upload font. So the next thing is font effects. So to get to font effects, you need to select the text that you want to add the effect to. And then in this top menu bar will appear once you have the font effects, font text selected. You can click on effects, and then you have all these options here. Okay, so these options are really nice and they make your design really stand out when you use them in a aesthetically pleasing way. The next thing I want to show you would be the animations. And if you click on neon here, typically this will say animate, but I've already been kind of playing around with this document a little bit, so I think I have an animation already set up here. If you click on animate, which would be here, once you have the text selected, then you can get to the animations and click on those, and you can change the speed of the animation, the direction that it's coming from. These are pro features. This part is. Animation is not. You have access to the animation in the free and the pro account, but changing like the speed and the direction and such is pro features. So here was the animation. There we go. Now it says animate. So the next thing that I would show you is very simple, but can be overly complicated if you're overthinking things, which I know I tend to do. You may not do that, but I do. But moving text within your design is easier than you think. So if you don't have anything selected, let me go back to, oh, shoot, that's what I wanted to do. There we go. Look, now it's gonna keep putting animations on there. Cool. Okay. So if you don't have the text selected, you would just click on it here, and then you're going to go up to the top, and all of this stuff highlights. When you don't have a text selected and you go to the top and you select it, then you have all these options that show up here. So you can do color change, you can change your font color, bold. If the font allows for it to be italicized, underline, you can change the casing so you can make it all uppercase, center align, bullet points. This is line spacing and letter spacing. This is really important when you're doing designs if you wanted to put more space between each individual letter, and I'll actually do a tutorial on this later. This is where these would come in handy in your designs, or line spacing, which would be between, like if I wanted more spacing between each of these lines, this is where you would use this. And then for position, oops, for that. This would be for centering it on the page, centering it in the middle of the page. If I wanted to center it to the bottom, that took it to the bottom of my page and aligned it, or the left side of my page. This is what all this does here, okay? So I'm gonna move it back up so I can see it. This is what the positioning does. You can change the transparency of your text here also. So this whole line of stuff here is essentially stuff that you can do with your text. Once you click on it, if you're not clicked on your text, it's going to go away. As soon as you click on it, all those options come back. Okay. The next thing would be bullet points. Let me change this text back to, not bullets. I want to change it back to regular casing. Sorry about that. Okay. So if you click on bullet points, it would add a bullet point, change it to a numbered list, or take it back away. All right. Now, if you wanted to make this a hyperlink, so like I have here, I have pairing fonts hyperlinked here. Say I wanted to hyperlink this text here. What I would do is, let me grab the link. This is actually the link for the pairing text guide. So let me just do it on this since I would go over here and let me uncheck it and remove it. Okay, so you would highlight the text that you want to add the link to, like that. This link is going to show up, and you would click on it, paste your link in, and then hit return or enter. And then it will hyperlink your text with the link that you put in. Okay? And then the last thing that I wanted to show you would be talking about pairing text. So I'm going to include the link for this guide for font combinations and learning about typography in the show notes, because I think it's important to understand how you should pair fonts. Knowing what fonts look good together really helps when you're designing printables, and it's not easy if you're not natively a graphic designer. So read over this article and start looking at the options that they have in the, I'm gonna have to actually, because I'm recording, it won't let me click on that. So look at the options that they have under font combinations and start getting ideas for what goes together. They do a lot of designs over here that'll start giving you ideas of things that look nice together on your designs. Even if you don't use them, it'll help you start thinking about things that look nice together. And then read over this article and see what you can come up with for your own designs. And I want to pop over to my Canva free account and show you over here what features are available on the Canva free account and what features you don't have access to. You only really lose access to a few features on the Canva free account. So you still have your text tab here. Oh, stupid thing. Sorry. There we go. You have the option for the brand kit to click on it, but it's only so that they can try to upsell you to Canva Pro. Okay, it's a Canva Pro feature for sure. They want you to upgrade. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. The Canva, the brand kit is fantastic. If you're just starting out though, you don't need it. That's just my 2 cents. Put all of your brand information on a Google Doc and save it somewhere where you can access it easily. And when you go to do your designs, pull up your Google Doc and copy paste until you're ready to upgrade to Canva Pro. That's my 2 cents. You still have access to look at all of the font combinations and start learning font combinations. The key here is to remember a lot of the stuff is pro features, so you won't have access to it. It doesn't mean you can't look at it and start learning, okay? Then let's add a text box. You still have the entire bar up here that works the same, colors, bold, italicize, the casing, the center line bullets, the line spacing. You still have access to all the effects, which is fantastic. You still have access to animations. The only thing that changes with animations is you cannot change the speed, you can't change the directions. Those things are Canva Pro. However, you can still use the animation itself. You just can't tweak it. Big deal. All right. If you're just starting out, who cares? Positioning is still there. Transparency is still there. Okay. The other thing that you do lose is the ability to upload fonts, like we talked about already. That is a Canva Pro feature. I'm telling you that as much as you think that this is a deal breaker, it's not a deal breaker. There are so many fonts that are free. So let's look at script fonts real quick. Well, I guess we can do cursive fonts if that's what they want to look at. For real, look at all these fonts that are Canva free. There's only a few that actually have a crown next to them. If you're not ready to pay for Canva Pro, I'm a big advocate of saving money and not, building up tech debt unless you're ready. Don't get me wrong, Canva Pro is amazing. I've had Canva Pro for years. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But if you're just starting out, Canva free is where it's at. All right. That's all I've got for this tutorial. If you have any questions, add them in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you have any suggestions for tutorials, will also include a form for you to drop me a line and let me know what your ideas are for your tutorial that you would like. And I'm also going to include the link for the Canva font pairing article that I talked about as well. And I will also include a link for where I do get the fonts that I use and upload to Canva that I use in my designs. So thank you for your time and I appreciate you watching.